Hey guys, what's up? It's iPhone here, and today we're going to be talking about my Savage Silence Bladestorm Ash build that I was able to take to level cap pretty easily. Remember to like the video, hit sub, and let's move on with the video. So Bladestorm is naturally one of the most damage dealing abilities in the game, but what if we could take that even further? Well, because it counts as finisher damage, by subsuming Silence onto Ash over his third ability, what we can do is we can throw on the Savage Silence augment to increase the damage the Bladestorm does by 300%, implying Silence is active. We can then pair that with the likes of Viral Procs or something of the sort to increase the damage even further, because the amount of damage Bladestorm does is in the form of slash procs, right? So then the ticks deal more damage. The build that I'm rocking looks a little bit like this. I'm running Umbral Intensify and Blind Rage to increase our power strength, to increase the amount of damage the Bladestorm does. This is also going to pair well with the Seeking Shuriken augment that I've got equipped, because you need to hit a certain amount of power strength for Seeking Shuriken to totally strip away enemies' armor. Now, Seeking Shuriken is on here as an added bonus. It's going to help out a lot for killing Demolists, so we can use pretty much any gun with viral damage and a decent build, and it's going to take down those Demolists for us, but we could also use Bladestorm to take down Demolist as well. Because Blind Rage gives us a -2 efficiency, I'm running Fleet and Expertise on here, which is going to give us a 60% ability efficiency bonus, but it's going to hit our duration quite a bit as well. So to counteract that, I've went ahead and thrown on Prime Continuity. Now this takes our duration stat up to 95%, which translates into a 7-second duration on Smokescreen. Now the synergy with Smokescreen and Bladestorm is that whenever you're invisible, the amount of energy consumed for each mark for Bladestorm is actually cut in half. So staying invisible is quite important, but because Bladestorm, like all of the attacks, count as finisher attacks, we can run Arcane Trickery, and this is going to keep us permanently invis as well. With 95% duration, we're still able to maintain a 28.5 second duration on Silence, which isn't too bad. You just want to make sure that you're keeping mind of, when Silence is up and when it's down, because you want to have it up at all times. So just try to take note of the duration of your Silence at all times. I'm also rocking Rolling Guard on this build to take advantage of shield gating even more. So whenever you lose all of your shields, you can just go ahead and roll, and this is going to keep you alive because you're going to be completely invulnerable to all damage. Now you can also use this to strip away any status effects that are on you, so Toxin, Slash, etc, etc. So Rolling Guard is pretty much a must-have if you're going for any level cap content. On top of that, I'm also running Prime Sure-Footed, so if you were to play against, let's say, a Bombard or a Heavy Gunner, they can slam the ground and knock you over, and if you get knocked over in any sense in a level cap run, you're pretty much dead, because enemies are just going to focus you and all your health is just going to go bye-bye. Prime Flow is on here in the event that we get hit by a energy drain event in Disruption, so it just allows us to have a lot of energy so we don't hit zero pretty much instantly whenever we get hit by that energy drain event. Seeking Shuriken and Savage Silence for our augments, kind of no-brainers. So Seeking Shuriken just to help with the demos, and Savage Silence for the bonus damage on our Bladestorm. Arcane Energize is pretty much a must-have because it just helps with energy sustain, and an Arcane Trickery for the invisibility. And last but not least, we have Steel Charge here on the aura for extra melee damage. Now this is going to help out with my Bladestorm, funnily enough, but you can run pretty much anything in this slot if you want to. When it comes to the loadout that I was using the Kuva Shaker with a Toxin bonus, the Epitaph, and any slash-weighted melee will fit into this build, but I was using the Prisma Jewel Cleavers for my run. On the Kuva Shaker, I'm running an Eternal Bleed build, so I'm rocking Prime Firestorm, Galvanized Chamber, Internal Bleed, Vital Sense, Crit Delay, Prime Cryo Rounds, this makes viral, Val Acceleration, and Prime Beam of Grenadier, super important mod, Vigilante Supplies in the X-List for the ammo and the enhanced crits, and a Primary Deadhead, again, super important that you're running Primary Deadhead. This is going to absolutely melt enemies if you armor strip them because of the viral that you've got on there, and also the internal bleeding mods. So strip the enemy, shoot them in the head, and they are going to die. On top of that, you've got Prime Firestorm, so it's actually going to hit multiple enemies that are close to the target that you're aiming at. The Epitaph is a basic primer, so I'm running Frostbite, Pistol Pestilence for Viral, Lethal Torrent, Augur Seeker, Prime Fulmination, Sure Shot, Scorch for Heat, Amalgam Barrel Diffusion, Reflex Draw so I can swap in between my primary or melee and Epitaph faster, Secondary Dexterity, super important Arcane because this is going to increase the combo duration of our melee, and don't forget, combo duration is really useful. A built-up combo is really useful for Bladestorm. On your melee, you should be running a Prime Smite mod, Blood Rush for crit chance, Weeping Wounds for status chance, Organ Shatter for crit damage, Berserker Fury for your attack speed, Condition Overload for your just damage, Prime Reach for range, and Gladiator Might for additional crit damage. So I wanted to give you guys a quick in-game demonstration of how this build actually works. So the first thing that you want to do is actually build up your combo counter with your melee weapon. This is because the combo carries over into Bladestorm, so having a high combo is super beneficial. Then the next thing you want to do is cast your silence, go invisible with smoke screen, and then start marking targets for your Bladestorm. You're going to send out your clone, and they're just going to go ahead one-shot. Now, the one-shots off the clones are also going to, like, bleed in over to your combo, right? So they build combo for you, help you sustain it. And, yeah, so now that you see that my screen has, like, a yellow tint, that basically means that the Arcane Trickery that we've got equipped is proccing, right? So I'm invisible because of that. You see that my smoke screen isn't active right now. And yeah, that is basically the build. This is just going to one-shot, like, literally any enemy. You know, it's crazy. Because we have a decent amount of efficiency on the build, then we're able to use Bladestorm as often as we want. We can cast Silence as often as we want. Now, that was, you know, the enemies dying without Silence active. But if we have Silence active, then they're getting stunned as well, right? So here's the stun animation. And also, we've got our Savage Silence increasing the damage of our Bladestorm, right? So you'll notice whenever you're doing the likes of Endurance Run, you're not going to be one-shotting if you don't have Silence active. So paying attention to your duration on Silence, super important. And then if you want to take your damage to the next level as well, like let's say you don't end up one-shotting an enemy, what you can do is you can actually prime the enemies with your Epitaph or something because it's got Viral on it, right? And that's going to increase the amount of damage of the slash procs that happen after a Bladestorm proc, right? So yeah, that is pretty much that. But that is an in-game demonstration of how to use Savage Silence Bladestorm Ash. And with all that being said, that is going to do it for the video today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button below if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more Warframe content. Make sure to check me out over at twitch.tv/iflim, where you can, like, basically watch me live do these types of endurance runs and other stuff, like just making builds in general and stuff like that. Also, check out the previous video that I uploaded, which was the full run of me doing, you know, the Bladestorm Ash endurance run. So you can check out the entire thing and see how it actually goes. It's pretty chill, and we have some cool conversations during it. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.